Monica, you've been with me now the last 2 days on TV. You know where I stand.
Yep.
I was very frustrated. I picked the Nets to make the finals. All of you basketball analysts have been yelling at me about I'm crazy, I'm this, they don't play defense. So I'm rooting for them like crazy just so I can be right and all of you can be wrong. And they absolutely should have won that game on Sunday, despite Kevin Durant having one of the worst days he'll ever have. And one of the reasons is it didn't look to me like they changed anything. Their offense is, here, this is Kyrie's play, this is KD's play. Kyrie, KD, we're just going to run up there, you choose. This is your turn, this is your turn. Kyrie made all his shots, KD missed all of his, and that was it. Is there anything different that the Nets can do tonight? They only need to be 1 second better. They were winning with 1 second. Can they do that tonight?
All right, offensively, Greeny, I've got Kevin Durant being smarter just because that's who he is. He's going to give a vintage performance in terms of the economy of his dribbles, right, being efficient. But I also would like to see more minutes for Patty Mills, and I'd like to see Seth Curry also hitting threes at a good clip so that they can help create some of that space. Yes, their identity has been the iso ball thing. We know that's who they are. But I think when you're going up against a team like the Celtics, whose defense is so connected, you have to get them on their heels with some motion. That's both for KD to get some give and go action and for guys to move when he has the ball because he's a more than capable and willing passer.
What do you think?
One of the challenges with this team in the playoffs is their personnel. They have 3 guys who should be playing heavy minutes. Kyrie, obviously, Seth Curry, Patty Mills. What do those guys have in common? They're undersized guards. What do the Celtics do? They target you. They manipulate. They try to get ISOs. They try to exploit mismatches. This is the nature of it. You brought up the offense as well. They're ISO heavy.
Yeah.
You know who they could really use? They could use like a 6'9", 6'10" guy who can switch and guard multiple positions and then create on offense. Maybe even create to get.
And isn't looking to shoot much.
Yeah, it isn't. Maybe exactly. This is the point about the Warriors as well. Like Draymond is Draymond because he complements the other guys. I think Ben Simmons is the complement to Kyrie and Kevin. I think Ben Simmons is the guy that can help them. They're not winning a championship without a healthy Ben Simmons.
I agree with you completely, but can you count on that?
On the Ben part? You agree with him on the Ben part?
I agree that if they had Ben Simmons, and he was Ben Simmons, they would be by far the best team in the Eastern Conference and the team to beat. The question is it realistic? I like the way McNutt put it on TV this morning. Can you jump onto a moving treadmill and just start running with it as fast as everyone else is running? That's really going to be the question for him, right?
Well, again, I said this earlier on Get Up, but he is not a player who relies on rhythm or feel or touch. His whole thing is using his athleticism in the open court, using his athleticism on the defensive end. If he's in something approximating game shape, he can have an impact. And I don't think, and we argued about this earlier today, I don't think they're putting him out there. They traded James Harden.
Yeah.
They've invested a lot in the future of Ben Simmons. Kevin Durant talked about this in March. He talked about the fact that he wanted this to be a long-term thing. We're looking at this partnership, him and Kyrie, the Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons now, the addition of him. This is a long-term thing. We want this to go on for years. They're not going to risk anything.
This is a radio show primarily. I wish everyone could see Monica's face. The skepticism just oozing from your every pore.
Listen, we all agree if you get Ben Simmons, I'll take 80%. Difference maker, boom. Even if this matchup was versus the Raptors, who are depleted, or maybe even the Hawks, but I understand, JJ, he just got to go up and down the floor and play defense. But this Boston Celtics team, you said it this morning, the most even matchup for this Brooklyn squad possible. And so I just think there is not a soft place to lay and hide on either side of the ball for him because what's Boston going to do offensively in terms of being defended offensively? They're going to attack Ben Simmons and on defense.
I'm going to give you the game right here, JJ. This is the game. You said it. You made me think of it. The Nets are afraid to go undersized because they're afraid of the defensive matchups and all. They're getting to me, they're thinking to themselves, our weakness has been defense all along. We're going to try and do what we can to be as respectable as we can defensively. They got to try and win this game 140 to 138. In that shootout, I'll take their guys. They got to put those guys out. They got to put Mills on the floor if they have to, put Curry on the floor, and Kyrie. I get it. The 3 of them combined aren't 18 feet tall. I understand that. But you got to live with it and we're just going to say we're going to make threes and your guys aren't going to. You're going to make one less than we do, and we're going to outscore you. I think that's the Nets' best chance.
Can I have a quick story time?
Go.
I'm going to be as quick as possible.
Go.
Just to Monica's point. Okay. Yeah. And I agree with you, by the way. Yeah. This is until they get Ben Simmons back, they got to score 130 points and win the games that way. and play Patty, Seth. Give Kevin space, give Kyrie space.
Go.
My first year with the Clippers, I had a back injury. My nerve that was running through the front of my quads was disrupted and stopped working. I couldn't even step upstairs. I thought about getting surgery. I had 3 epidurals. The doctor was basically like, we're going to give you 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, the nerve still wasn't working. He's like, let's do it another 2. So 10 weeks later, I have not done anything. This is the middle of the season. 10 weeks later, haven't done anything. I didn't practice. They just put me in a game. I never went live. I played in a game and played 5 games in the regular season, then played in the playoffs. Do you know what? I was a terrible athlete relative to the NBA. I was able to do that. You don't think a 22 or 23-year-old Ben Simmons can go play in a basketball game right now? Come on.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.